You're watching On Demand. Please check the closing time before trying to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Today on your Loose Women Live, it's Jane Moore, Brenda Edwards, Denise Welsh, and Linda Robson.
To your Tuesday Loose Women. Lots coming up today, including a loose anniversary. Yes, one of us is celebrating 21 years on the panel. But can you guess who? None of us obviously look old enough. Also inspired by Davina McCall's new dating show, helping midlife mums and dads find romance. Can you really choose to fall in love? And she's a Loose Women legend and the ultimate queen of cruising. Jane McDonald is back in the building.
Ow! What was that for?
From celebrating her 60th in style to bearing all in Japan, Jane reveals what the future holds and whether she ever thinks she'll find love again. Plus, we'll be tackling some of our hot topics with her a little bit later on. Now, it's the story dominating most of the front pages today. Education Secretary Gillian Keegan has been under fire after a clip emerged of her swearing in response to criticism of the government's handling of the UK schools' concrete crisis, which has left thousands of students unable to return today. Let's take a look.
Does anyone ever say, you know what, you've done a good job because everyone else has sat on their and done nothing? No signs of that, no?
Well, she's now apologised for her off-the-cuff remark, saying it was driven by irritation at the reporters' questions. Do you have any sympathy, Brenda?
No, I don't. I'm just writing down what you said off the cuff, because I'm always writing. In my personal opinion, what we didn't see, just before the clip that we did see, she does adjust her mic. And adjust it in a way it looks like she's taking it off. And my personal theory is that she went to take it off, left it on, because she knew it was going to be recording, just to put herself, like the cart before the horse. You know something's about to blow up, so let me say something and let me swear about it. So they talk about the swearing rather than the actual problem of the schools not being looked after.
Well...
Sorry.
Very good theory. I mean, obviously, Gillian Keegan's not here to defend herself.
She did it.
So...
She doesn't have to defend. She did it. It's there. It's there on the
what I
clip.
mean is to defend herself against your theory.
Well, you know, she could have... But my point, I haven't got anything against her swearing. So what? I'm not...
That's terrible swearing. Disgusting. What a potty mouth woman.
I haven't got anything against it. I haven't got anything against it, but for my part, as a parent, you know, of children who have been to school and so on and so forth, you have Ofsted reports, so that's reporting on the teachers. Why have they not got somebody inspecting these buildings on a regular basis so this does not happen? That's all I've got to say.
Yes, Linda, you would never swear, would you?
Never. I think that's terrible. I know, especially when you're talking about young kids and schools and
that. Yeah, there's absolutely no evidence anywhere ever of you swearing. Is there?
There might have been look-alikes swearing. It's £1 million right here in this trolley. It came straight from the ITV bank account this morning. How do I look at it?
Apologies. I would like to apologise for Linda's language. She knows that she's done wrong.
Come on. Explain yourself.
You know what? So what happened was they told me it was a rehearsal. So I wheeled £1 million into the studio thinking it was a rehearsal. I could see the 4 girls there. Brenda, Charlene, Kelly.
Do not repeat
and
the exercise.
No. And I had £1 million in the trolley. I was mucking about putting the money down my bra and everything. 2 security guards beside me. And then I said that word that I'm not supposed to say, the F word. And then I had to go off and come back on again. I thought, oh, that's it, I've lost my job. The kids were on half-term and everything, weren't they? So I had to come back on again. I didn't think they were going to let me on again. Oh. And then Andy Peters saved me because he said, I'm going to get some soap and wash her mouth out with it. So, but I'm still swearing.
So you see, Brenda, it happens to us all.
It happens to us all, and that's not what I'm upset about. Swear away, but do something.
Daisy, have you ever been caught out in a hot mic?
Well, a hot mic moment, I've had loads of them, because if you've been in the business as long as we have, you know, I've been mic'd up for all sorts of TV series. And, I mean, I do loads of things like going, just come over here, rub it this like this and something like this. But there was once I was in a drama series, and we had this sound guy who was a real creep. And every time we went out, because I was a proper...
No one here, we hasten to add.
I was a proper party girl, obviously, back in the day, which I know surprised a lot of people, but I was. And anyway, but every time we went out, this guy, you know those guys that try to get off with you when they're really slavery and creepy and sort of and everything? And I wasn't sort of scared of him, but he was such a pain in the back bum.
Children gone back to school today, or are they still at home?
God, listen, it's the children that we learn the words of, let alone... Anyway, he was
She said R. The letter R.
Yeah, he was a real creep. Anyway, we were filming one day, and afterwards somebody asked me about him, and I said, oh my God, he makes my skin crawl. He's disgusting, and I want him to stay the bleep away from me. Afterwards, he came up to me and he said, I want to apologise. I heard everything you said on the microphone. And I, rather than sticking to my guns, I went, I got you!
Which I doubt he believed
You fell for it, you little trickster!
I doubt he believed that for a single second.
He never came near me again, so there you go.
Well, I had my own moment when I used to present a show called Crime Watch Daily on BBC One, and it was a live show, but we filmed it at Scotland Yard, and you had to get in through the revolving doors at the start of the show, and it was all too tricksy, so we would pre-record that bit and then be ready inside. And they put out a rehearsal tape by mistake with me saying the fig word.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
you got stuck in the doors?
I got a lot of stick for that. So,
it just proves all us loose women have got potty mouths.
And the thing is now, with so many blooming WhatsApp groups, it's that thing, you know, when you send something and you go, oh, and your heart stops and you go into a cold sweat because you think you've sent it to the wrong group, and then you're trying to delete it, by which time they've already seen it. Oh, my God. Anyway.
Well, if you at home have ever been accidentally caught out with your own awkward encounter, from texting the wrong person to overhearing someone moaning about you, do get in touch and let us know your stories. On to our next topic now. If you've ever felt the pain of sitting next to a screaming baby on a long-haul flight, you might like this idea. Turkish airline Corendon has launched an adults-only section on some of its flights, where babies and kids are banned. Adults will have a child-free zone and enjoy a calm and relaxed flight, while families with youngsters are in a separate area of the plane.
Oh, my God. Where are they in with the luggage?
No, I think it's like, you know, the old days of smoking and non-smoking.
Yeah, well,
it was like smoking at the back.
But you can still hear a screaming
row in
child.
front of the smokers section. What difference does it make? The smoke just used to billow down.
Precisely.
Oh, but babies and children need holidays as well, don't they? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're still on the plane.
Yeah, I know, but I'm happy when I hear the kids on the plane, because they're all excited about going away, and then when we land, all the kids start clapping and everything. It's lovely.
Are you
Really
allowed to
lovely.
book that section, but they look after your kids at the back of the
I mean, you say that, but if you get on a long-haul flight...
Yeah.
And there's a baby in the seat behind that is just screaming, 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 and the parents aren't necessarily doing much about it. It is
On
quite
a long-haul
stressful.
flight, you get those little things what you put on your ears and you can't hear nothing,
No,
can you?
that's-
The AirPods, you put them in.
No. Yes, you can, but no. I think that what you should do is the same. I don't think I should be penalised. I'm a mother who has children who know how to. You know, I look after my children and they behave in the right way. There are, unless you've got special needs or anything like that, that's a totally different thing. But if you've got a child kicking you in the back for 6 hours, it's no fun. It's no fun, and you can't turn around and say something to the parents because they most probably kick off and the child will make it worse. It's not my fault that you forgot Fluffy at home and so that child is just going mental. So what I think you should do, maybe, is if they can want to charge people for an extra flight so that you can have a special flight, why don't you have a special flight of mothers, babies and parents and their babies, and then another flight, a charter flight for people who ain't got children? And then that's solved. It's solving good. It's helping everybody.
Good idea. See? That's probably a good idea.
Plane crash.
That's a good idea. Or don't do what I did.
Maybe not plane crash.
No, when I said it, I took it back because I went.
Don't do what I did a long-haul flight recently. I started playing peekaboo with the child in front on the runway before we'd actually taken off.
12 hours later.
12 hours of this.
Well done. Well done. Well done, Jane.
I had to pretend to be asleep for the rest of the flight. Right, still to come, the wonder of Wakefield is in the building. It's the one and only Jane McDonald. She's joining us after the break, and we're celebrating a big Loose Women anniversary for one of us on the panel. But can you guess who it is? 21 years ago. Find out right after this. See you soon. Welcome back. Thank you. Still to come, she's just what the doctor ordered. The one and only Jane McDonald will be here. Competition time before all of that, and you can win £80,000 and a brand new car. Oh yes, Kate Lawler's live for us in Greenwich. Oh, well, I know where you are, Kate.
Yes, you do, Jane. I'm here at the O2 Arena. I've been here all morning where preparations are well underway for the National Television Awards. Tonight is one of the biggest events of the year, a star-studded occasion where the great, the good and Matt Hancock will all be here to celebrate some of the year's most stellar shows. Now, I hope you don't mind, ladies, but I have messed with the seating plan a little bit. It does mean that Ant Deck and Sarah Lancashire are in row F, but Denise, Brenda and Linda, you are now in the front row. You're in the fro. Jane, I know you can't make it tonight. You could have told me. I could have had your seat. Anyway, that aside, I'm here to tell you about a fantastic competition that could see you £80,000 richer. How would you like to win £80,000 in glorious tax-free cash? Not only that, we're throwing in a car because we're feeling generous. How do you fancy winning this? It's a brand new Audi Q5. It's hybrid. It's got leather seats, heated seats, an amazing parking sensor, perfect for me, and 19-inch fat alloy wheels. Imagine all the adventures you could be having with a brand new car and £80,000 in the bank. There are going to be a number of winners at the NTAs tonight. There'll be tears, there'll be laughs, but just imagine winning a car and £80,000, getting that winning phone call. It really could be you. All it takes is one entry. Here are all the details you need. For your chance to win, text PRIZE to 81119. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website. Entries cost £2. Call 09068 78 11119. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY36 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 6th of October at 3 p.m. Good luck. Good luck, everybody entering the competition, and good luck to you, loose ladies. I hope you'll be taking one of these away tonight.
Thanks, Kate. Now you better go and get your frock on. It's going to be fun tonight. Not going to be there because we're off up to Newcastle for the tour.
Indeedy. Yep.
Which also explains my voice. This is not... I'm not ill. This is tour-itis, basically. And somebody else has been talking a lot on this show over the years. Is a certain someone. It's their special anniversary today. Tomorrow, it will be 21 years since our Denzi first joined the Loose Women panel. So we couldn't resist taking a look back.
Oh, wow.
Miss Denise Welsh.
Plus, if you're treated as if you're over the hill at 55, and at just 20, Prince William is taking after his dad, the heir is losing his hair. But do bald men make better lovers? I ought to know, I ought to think so, because I'm married to one, but at least that's what it says here.
You don't look any different.
Blimey.
Born natural.
I've had the same hairstyle for 100 years, pretty much, haven't I? My God.
Well, that's because it suits you.
Well, thank you, but I mean, it's hard. I just can't remember so much about it. The funny thing is, people say to me a lot, well, to
Maybe
all of
because
us,
you was drunk all the time.
Probably. They say to me, how did you get into Loose Women? And you know, I honestly have no idea. I just remember one day I did it as a guest, I think when I was doing Corrie, and it used to be done opposite Coronation Street Studios. And then it was like Samantha from Bewitched went doodle-doodle-doodle-doo, and I was a loose woman. And then somebody, one of our fan pages said that I think I started as a guest panellist in 2002, so my 22-year-old was still in nappies. And then in 2005 became a full-time panellist. So bar from a 6-year sort of gap, it's been 21 years.
Wow.
And in our business, there's not many people have jobs for that length of time, especially jobs like this that allow you to do other things and still welcome you back. And I think the main thing about this show is that it reveres the opinion of older women. Yeah. And that's what I love. And also, this is something we've been talking about on the tour. We do a nostalgia element and ask, you know, to each other to what the show's meant to you. So obviously, the huge laughs that we've had, obviously, and there's so many panellists that have come and gone. But I think it's the fact that I've lost both my parents during my tenure and had the girls there to support me. Mental health issues, which again I've had from the beginning. It's given me a voice and a platform to share my story, which helps people when they're struggling. And my sobriety, which, as you say, has been 11 years now. So I've had years where, yeah, admittedly, sometimes I would not remember the show that night, but I had some fun in those days, don't get me wrong, but there was also some very dark moments. And having the women here to support me through those times and my sobriety has been invaluable. Yeah. So thank you.
Of course, I've been here for 24 years.
You have indeed.
Although, in fairness, you've done far more shows than I have.
Well, I possibly have.
I left a very long time in between times.
But do you remember when you leave a job after a long time, for some unknown reason, and please shout out if you know the answer, you get a carriage clock? Don't know why. If you do a long time in a job, or if you win Mr. and Mrs., you get a carriage clock. Jane, for long-standing services to the show, your very own carriage clock.
I'm thrilled to receive this award, and I will split it with Kay and Nadia. But talking of long service, it's a funny old thing, isn't it? Because we all know what a gold carriage clock means. I did say clock. Our kids would go, what are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've been here, a loose woman, 20 years now, I think, a couple of weeks ago. But I've actually been in the same job for 55 years, although they're different jobs each time. But I was 10 when I started, and I'm 65 and I'm still working. So, yes, I've had a 55-year career so far, and hopefully it's not over.
But no, of course not. But you've had a very varied career, but what I'm talking about is, like, back in the day, say somebody would work for a bank, and they join at the age, they join at the age of 18, and they stay right through to the age of 60.
I am the baby of this panel, as in 4 or 5 years of being a loose woman, which I absolutely love for exactly those same reasons as Denise said. You guys, as I've said time and time again, have been there supportive, especially after the last 18 months, just keeping us all together and everything. But before this, I say it a lot because I'm proud of it, I did study to be an accounts payable manager. Well, I was as an accounts assistant. I did my BTEC in business and finance, and I had a really really good job, which I enjoyed thoroughly, Monday to Friday, 9 to 9 p.m, because I was in charge.
How long was that job for, Brenda?
23 years.
Was it?
I was an accounts payable
Did you get a
manager.
clock?
I didn't get a clock. I didn't get a clock because I still do the job, and I'm not proud. I'm not like proud. If I need money, I've got a mortgage. If I need money, and I'm self-employed, so don't work, don't get paid. So if I have to go and work again in accounts, which I did, I went to actually Twickenham Rugby Ground for about 3 months, temping, just to because I didn't have any other work.
Could you do my accounts?
I was going to say.
I didn't. But when I went there, but I will. No, but it was funny that people had seen me on TV in my West End career, and then they saw me going back to Twickenham Rugby Ground, and one person was like, "Well, oh, you can't be doing very well if you're back here." And I felt quite insulted by that because I want to do that job and I chose to do that job and I take pride in doing it.
Absolutely.
And so don't come at me because I'm doing something. Yes, you might recognise my face, but I'm just the same as everybody else.
So 23 years, 23 years at the same job, you must have a good pension there.
My pension is in my bricks and mortar. I paid my national insurance there, but when becoming self-employed, I haven't paid into a pension.
But there will be a pension up to that point that you left.
I've been told there is. I'm not claiming it right now because I'm too busy working.
You're not old enough.
I'm not old enough, and even if I was, I want to keep working. I don't want somebody to denote when I have to stop working or when I have to stop doing what I want to do.
Linda, have you got a pension?
I don't know, but when I do get a pension, I'm going to pay off all my parking tickets.
How old are you?
She's got a pension. There's only one person worse at maths and finance than me, and that is Linda Robson.
How old are you?
65. So I've got another year till I get my pension.
Yeah, but we'll get a state pension, not a private pension.
What's your date of birth?
13th of the 3rd, 58.
Yeah,
and
so
I made 58.
you will get your pension at 66.
And then I'll pay off my parking ticket.
If you were born after April the 5th, 1960, you won't get your pension until you're 67. They keep
bringing it
moving
up.
the age.
Of course they do.
And then after that, you won't get it till you're 68.
And then sometimes you won't get it at all. Sorry.
Right, still to come, from cruising to crooning, nearly a year on from her last appearance on the show, we're catching up with our friend, the lovely Jane McDonald. That's after this.
We're mixing it up on Loose Women as half the panel is occupied by 2 generations of the modern man. Good Morning Britain's Richard Madeley and Love Island's Ian Sterling.
It's going to be fun, this.
They'll join the fabulously funny Judy Love and your very own Angel of the North, me, Denise Welsh. That's Loose Women and Men
Next week.
Welcome back to your Tuesday, Loose Women. We're joined by loose legend Jane McDonald in just a moment. And here with me this afternoon, it's these legendary loose ladies, Denise Welsh, Linda Robson, Brenda Edwards, and me, Jane Moore. Still to come, it's been dubbed the later in life Love Island. So, inspired by Davina McCall's new dating show, we'll be asking whether you can choose to fall in love instead of waiting for Mr. Right to find you. But before all of that, our guest today is a crooner, a cruiser, a BAFTA winner and a loose legend. In fact, there's not much that we haven't seen Miss Jane McDonald take on. But in her latest trip to Japan, we see a side to her that we've never seen before.
Right then, here I go. This is so liberating. I can't believe I'm naked talking to you here. And the poor John, the cameraman, don't know where to look. But it's liberating. It's just wonderful. And I can see Mount Fuji from here. So this is so special. It's refreshing. Get your kit off and get in here.
Here to tell us more, hopefully with her kit on, please give a warm welcome to the legendary Jane McDonald.
cute waves.
I know.
We all did it. We all did it. Apart from Linda, she forgot.
I was trying.
First of all, I've got to ask you, I'm so jealous. I've always wanted to go to Japan.
Oh, it was fantastic. One of the best things I've ever done. You don't just go to Japan, you experience it. And I did have the most... And everything works in Japan.
And everything's on time as well.
Everything's on time, everything works.
Is the service wonderful there as well, I can imagine?
Fantastic.
No one's on strike.
No one, no. It's just really a great pleasure to have been able to do all this amazing travel.
Jane, tell them about the toilets.
Oh, toilets are fine. My bits have never been so clean. I swear, it's true, isn't it?
True.
Well, I'm glad because it looks like everybody saw your Mount Fuji on that
They did. The poor crew. They've had to go into therapy.
So what did you do on that trip? Other than Mount Fuji and naked plunging?
No, I did all sorts. I did some sumo wrestling. I did ninja. I know. Ninja. And they don't tell me anything until... I didn't know I had to strip off naked to get into a spa. I would have sorted myself out, if you know what I mean. And I've done things, you know.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Whereas, you know, usually it's covered up. But not... No, so... And I did feel sorry for John, the camera, cameraman.
So this is Jane McDonald lost in Japan.
Yeah.
You're going to become like a travel log person.
The funny thing is about Jane, though, she hates travelling.
I do.
No, honestly, wouldn't you rather be at home in Wakefield with a cup of tea? Seriously.
Doritos. And,
Doritos.
And some garlic dip, that's me. But, no, I have been so grateful to have done this amazing show and become a bit of a travel guru now, a bit of a travel influencer, is it?
Yeah.
Influencer, which is great, because when we put the shows on, they go through the roof, apparently. People really want to buy into it, and they love it, apparently. So, I don't know what I'm doing.
Have you got a favourite place that you've ever been?
Yorkshire.
They do the best tea.
All of them. I think all of them have got their own magic. Every place that we've ever been, I have got an amazing crew who work on it, and me and my mate Mark Powell and Sue Ravey.
Sue Ravey. Have you seen her on Gogglebox with Sue Ravey?
We have such a laugh, and it, things change. I am going to step down for a little bit. I'm not going to be travelling for a short while now, just because I've got too much on. So that I can't fit it all in.
Because you're going on tour again, aren't you?
Yes, I'm going on tour. Oh, bless my fans. Thank you for sort of sticking
Are you going to be
with
like
me.
Cher, who has Jane McDonald's 75th retirement tour?
No.
I have to say, I've seen your tour. I've been to a couple of your tours, and they're absolutely amazing. You're so engaging. Oh. And I came and saw you afterwards and said the way that you actually just communicate and talk to everybody is like they're in your front room.
Yeah, it is.
But
I was reading that you've put your house up for the tour.
I did, yeah.
We were talking about pensions and things earlier, and I said mine's in bricks and mortar, but...
Yeah, I did. I believed in it. In this business, it's very fickle. Yeah. And when you get dropped from record companies and dropped from this and that, and I thought, actually, I think I know how to do this. I thought, how hard can this be? So I thought, right, I'll go to the bank and say, I'm going on tour. And they give me the money. Stupid. But I'm glad I did now, because then that put me on a different level. I became my own management, I became my own promoter, and I've loved every minute of it. So I'm going back to I'm doing it with Live Nation this time, though.
Amazing.
But I'm really looking forward to seeing the fans again.
Is that going to be next year? Yeah.
Next year, yeah.
So the tickets aren't on sale yet?
Not yet, no.
And another amazing gig that we were so proud of you, especially because I've known your love of soap opera for years, when you stood in and presented the Soap Awards at like a minute's notice.
Yeah.
An amazing gig. You were on holiday, weren't you?
I was, my first in 8 years. And my agent, Craig, rung me, and I thought, this better be good. And thankfully it was the Soap Awards. I had such a blast, and please, 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 let me do it again.
Since you last came to see us here. You've celebrated your 60th.
I have, yeah.
What did you do?
I can't remember. I can't remember what I did. I probably had a really good time.
Were you in Yorkshire eating Doritos?
Oh, no, I was on a barge. I was on the barge with my sister-in-law, because my sister-in-law was 60 at the same time. So we went on that Thames, the Magna Carta, you know, I love it on that.
Never been?
Oh, God, it's brilliant. So I love to go back to the Magna Carta and go up the Thames, because I know, you know, there's no flights, there's no changing money. I'm not right good at that either. No. I can never sort out what money's right. So it's just great, and the people who own it are fabulous.
Sorry.
You've travelled so many places, and we had an earlier segment about children and planes and being charged extra. Have you come across that yourself when you've been to so many different places with children making loads of noise? Are you bothered? Are you not bothered?
I'm with Linda. I think you let them have a good time. The children, for goodness sake, and I love to hear them not screaming their heads off like I have, but. You know, I always feel for the parents, and that's who you've got to really feel for. You know, it can be hard work, can't it? You know,
unless they've put their kids in a row behind you and they've seated themselves 10 rows away, which has happened to me. Did you get a bit of a? Because we talk about it quite a bit on this show. Did you get a bit of a psychological shift when you hit 60, or did it just not bother you?
Not bother me at all. I was born with twin set and pearls. You know, I've always been old. And I quite like the fact that I've got an excuse now to go to bed at 9 o'clock if I want. And
because you've always done it when we were...
I know. I'm a right pathetic person that way.
And there's a new little man in your life, isn't there?
Oh, little Eddie. I just love him. I could eat him. He's that gorgeous.
This is your great nephew.
Yeah, my grandson. He's just beautiful. I mean, I know that's why I can't travel so much now. I need to see a bit more of that face.
And he's named after your late Ed. Yeah, which is just lovely.
Yeah, and he's gorgeous. And he brings so much joy, not just to my life, but to all the families' life.
Oh, yeah. Babies.
You know, and to see Tony and Wendy now being grandparents, it's just the best thing for me to watch as well, because they're so great. And watching Tom and Katie, Mum and Dad, you know, they're just naturals. I hope they have at least 6.
Well, you're going to stay with us, aren't you, Jane, so we can continue our chat. Thank you very much. Still to come, can you choose to fall in love? Inspired by Davina McCall's new series, Jane is going to reveal whether she's open to finding romance again. We'll see you soon. Still to come, the one and only Jane McDonald is here with us. And in just a moment, we're talking about being open to finding love in later life. But first, you've been sending in stories of when you have been caught out, Brenda.
I've got one. I've been laughing all the way. I'm crying. Lenny, she says, I went on a date with a guy who looked nothing like his profile picture. I really wanted to leave, so I texted my son saying, call me in 10 minutes, tell me you've fallen down the stairs and broken your arm. I need to get away from this date ASAP. It's awful. Then I realised I sent it to the guy I was on the date with.
I've got one from Cornelia. She says, I was at a wedding and a woman arrived wearing a ridiculous fascinator that had large feathers sticking up. After the ceremony, I was outside and I remarked to the man standing next to me that the woman looked like she had a dead seagull stuck on the top of her head. He said, that's my wife. It cost me a fortune and it's...
Oh, fantastic. Thanks, everybody. Competition time now, and you can win a prize package worth over £139,000. Kate's busy getting her place in line at the NTAs. How are you getting on, Kate?
Good afternoon, Jane. Yeah, I've come to the back of the O2 Arena where you can get a spectacular view of the stage, which is all set for the National Television Awards tonight. It's the biggest event in TV. Celebrities, TV stars are all going to be gracing this arena, along with thousands and thousands of fans. I didn't get an invite, but it has been interesting to see behind the scenes and what goes on. I'm also here to tell you about a fantastic two-part prize that could see you £80,000 richer by the end of the year. Just imagine how much that would help you out before Christmas. I know it's too early for talking about it, but it would. And we're throwing in a car as well. An Audi, excuse me, I'm trying to do a competition. Thank you. An Audi Q5 hybrid. It comes with 19-inch alloy wheels, heated seats, an amazing park assist, and all the mod cons you could possibly ask for, worth over £59,000. So how do you fancy winning the car and the cash? Of course you do. Here are all the details you need to enter our competition, and all it takes is one entry. There might be heaps of winners at the NTAs tonight, but only one person will be winning this fantastic two-part prize. That person could be you. For your chance to win, text PRIZE to 81119. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website. Entries cost £2. Call 09068 781119. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY36 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 6th of October at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Thanks, Kate. Now, Davina McCall is trying to help others follow in her footsteps in a new dating show, My Mum, Your Dad, which sees middle-aged parents trying to meet new partners with a little help from their children.
We're okay if you want to start dating again.
I just want to give love and be loved.
I would love Dad to have someone.
I miss coming home to someone.
Are you worried about whether you're ready?
Yeah.
It's just so nice to see.
It's been 37 years since I've been on a date.
We're a bit rusty.
And in an interview today, Davina's opened up about how her own later life relationship has positively impacted her in a way that she never thought possible. Jane, wanted to ask you, Eddie, your dear Eddie, passed away in March 2021.
That's right, yeah.
First of all, how are you faring?
I'm doing all right, actually, due to my mates. I've got a real great network of girls, Sue obviously being the head honch, and, you know, Janet, my sister, and Alwyn and Julie. We're just a real, all single, some of us widowed, and we have a great time. We go away and we eat out and we do things together and laugh until we have wet pants.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying this part of my life now.
So would you be open to it, even though you're not? Because you're not on apps, are you? You're not doing any of the swiping.
No, I was very blessed to have a great relationship, and I don't feel as if my life needs a man to complete it. I'm not saying I'm never going to date again. I think that would be lovely. But I don't feel as if I need someone in my life to make it, you know, complete.
Is need and want, don't you think, different things?
Yeah.
Because you might... I don't think any of us need, but I personally might want to have somebody to just cuddle up on the couch with or watch a movie with, or, you know, you come home to the house and you're like, there's nobody there. I know I talk to my cats and people think there's something wrong with me, but there's nobody to have a proper conversation to. So with that, do you not miss that? Sometimes it's like, oh.
No. I guess...
I still live for you.
I know, I'm lucky. I share a house with my mates.
Right,
too.
so that's... You've got somebody there, yeah.
And not with my wind on the night, you know. I like to be able to... You know, I can't be bothered anymore, sort of...
To hold it in
anymore, you know.
Do any of your friends in your friendship group feel that... You were saying you're all single. Do they feel like they would like to meet somebody else?
Well, we've all sort of said we're not sworn off men and we actually like them, you know.
Most of them.
You know, God love you, Denise. But you know, we have a good time.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think any of us are seriously looking.
Yeah, I think it's a bit like my sister. I've always felt much more of a sort of... I keep thinking I'm really independent, but actually I'm a little bit codependent. Obviously, I'm so lucky to have found love, the love I have later in life. But my sister's the same as you. She said if it fell over, but she don't want to live with anybody again.
No.
She said she cannot bear handing that television control over to somebody else after all these years. She just can't.
It is. You do get a sense of freedom again. You know, I don't have to put the light out at a certain time. I can read in bed till 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Farting.
Yeah. You know. Well, that's a big thing for, you know. I don't think I can go through all that again, that dating, you know, I just, oh, no.
Doing a wee down the side of the bowl so you don't
know.
even hear you
I know, but yeah.
Linda, what about you?
Yeah.
No, I've had 2 loves of my life, and now my grandchildren are the loves of my life, and my children are not really. So no, I'm not looking for anyone.
But that doesn't mean you're closed, though, Linda. You're not looking. You're not actively looking.
Oh,
but
well, I can't be asked anymore. Asked is a donkey.
Apologies to anyone at home for Linda's language. Linda, we've talked about this.
I didn't think that was a bad word.
Bottom of the class.
OK.
Right, carry on without swearing, thank you.
So my grandchildren are the loves of my life. I've had them all day. I've had them for 24 hours. I was knackered by the time they went home, honestly.
Well, I'm going to say, you've got energy for a walk after that.
I don't know. I'm happy with my grandchildren.
And also, I
my
did buy you a little present for your
You
solo
did buy me a
flights.
present.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can imagine what it was. It was a little pink thing.
Brenda.
Get anything from me.
Brenda, are you incapable of talking, Brenda?
No, I can talk. I can talk. I'm fine. I'm fine where I am. I've got my 3 cats. See what word I used there? I've got my 3 cats. And I'm very happy with Tiny, Temper and Smokey. Thank you very much.
Saying that, I've just met Davina recently, and the glow that she has got now, it's just so wonderful to see her so happy.
Yeah.
And
It's
he's
her hairdresser,
lovely.
isn't it? It's the bloke that...
Yeah, it is. He's called Michael.
He's called Michael Douglas.
He's lovely.
But again, they were friends for a long time.
Yeah.
For like 10 years.
Yeah.
You see, I do have quite a few men friends, but there's nothing going on.
No.
So.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? But you never know. One day, you might look at them across the room and go,
no.
I like you.
I don't think so.
Maybe not then. Well, Jane, it's been an absolute pleasure having you back again. Jane McDonald, Lost in Japan, continues Friday, 8th of September at 9 p.m. on Channel 5. Yes. That is it for today. Tomorrow, 3 years since his Strictly triumph, Bill Bailey will be here with us. Until then, have a wonderful afternoon.